Hey, football fans, welcome back to another episode of Lions Latest, the show where we gather around and talk about the greatest team in the NFL, the Detroit Lions. I'm your host, Bryan Hanes, and we have a great list of topics to speak on about, so let's just jump straight into the video. Starting off, we're talking about punt returner slash wide receiver Khalif Raymond. What's it looking like for him, right? There's been a lot of speculation about what the future is going to hold for him in this next season and the seasons afterwards. We got new pieces at that wide receiver position now through the draft and through the offseason or the free agency last year. So what's really happening for Khalif Raymond? He is a punt returner for us mainly, and we use him on certain plays like wide receiver screens, stuff like that. He's one of those like tool pieces that we throw in, kind of throw off the team or put him in during garbage time to just see what he can do, test out some plays, stuff like that. But he's mainly our punt returner, kick returner kind of guy. So is there a possible trade package? I think there could be one. Raymond in a fifth round pick could get us a depth spot at receiver or possibly another position that we need, given the right circumstances. Obviously, receivers more likely. There's been rumors that the Ravens are possibly going to make a move, giving Dontez Walker in exchange for the fifth round pick in Raymond. Now, Walker's expected to have a good season with his speed and route running, especially his 4.3 40 time. But since we picked up Tesla and Dominic Levitt, I don't really see us needing this as an immediate need. We could get a younger punt returner instead, see where he goes from there, see how he develops. But since we took two receivers in this draft, I don't really necessarily see that as being plausible anymore. Maybe before the draft, that was definitely a possibility, but not anymore. So what's his position on the spot? Or what's his spot going to be on this team this year? What's really his position here? I think he's going to stay at punt returner. I don't really see him getting those reps at receiver anymore like he used to. He's 30 years old now. He's not really showing any signs of taking a step up. I see him being phased out of this roster, honestly, with younger and promising pieces getting added. Plus, the addition of Tim Patrick last season makes that wide receiver 3 spot even harder to compete for. So let's just take a look at his stats, try to back up what I'm saying. He peaked really in 2022 with us. He had 47 receptions for 616 yards. He was averaging 13.1 yards a catch. His longest was 56 yards, and he had 36 rushing yards. 2023, he took a little bit of a step back with 35 receptions, 489 yards, 14 yards on average. His long was 41, but then he had a touchdown, and he had 75 rushing yards. 2024, this past season, we really saw him take a step back. He had 17 receptions for 215 yards. He averaged 12.6. His long was only 38. However, he did have 2 touchdowns this year, so I will give him that. But to be fair and to be completely honest, I don't think that he's going to really go and have a next jump, right? He had a punt return touchdown last season, which was cool, and he had really cool moments on punt returner. So I don't really see him, just being useless. I actually can see him being that punt returner guy, maybe helping out some younger folks figure out how to be on special teams, one of those like vets on special teams you have, right? But I don't necessarily see him taking a step up, and it might be time to start looking for possible value to get out of Khalif Raymond. I love Leaf. He's really cool. He's put his body on the line for us. He got injured last season. I mean, he's a great player and he's a great team guy. But with the way we're going and the way we want to go, some of these like positions we do have to start worrying about maybe trading up for, maybe possibly extending our longevity on this team, right? Try to maybe get some draft picks out of him. I don't even know if that's possible right now. But I do like him at punt returner, and I don't hate that if he would stay in that position. So with that being said, let me know what you guys think about possible trades for him, what we could probably get out of him, the max we could get, and what teams are really looking for a position player like him. Moving on to our second topic of the day, we are talking about the 2025 Hall of Fame game. So, hey, we got football in July, guys. I'm excited. I hope you guys are all excited as well. It's always cool to have football a little early, give you a little taste of what's to come, gets you really excited for the regular season. So who do we got? We got the Chargers versus Lions in Canton, Ohio. Hutch versus Harbaugh. The Lions are going to be the home team because of their winning record last season. And Antonio Gates, a class of 2025 member, is getting introduced before the game with some other players. So a lot of cool stuff going on, and it's kicking off the Hall of Fame weekend there in Canton. I think the starters obviously won't play the whole game, but it's going to give us that sneak peek of what the new offense is going to look like under Morton. And we're going to see players like Hendon Hooker, how much they've come, how much they've improved. I'm not necessarily expecting something crazy out of Hendon Hooker, but I definitely want to see that he is holding up that backup quarterback slot, right? I want to make sure that God forbid something happens to Goff, because it hasn't so far that, Hendon Hooker is able to go in and be the guy. So we'll see what he is looking like. And then hopefully Hutch gets some reps against his old coach. I don't necessarily think they're going to, put him in for that much or at all, really, because they don't want him to get re injured or anything before the season. That would honestly be the biggest blow the team could take right now. But I think giving him some reps, especially against his old college coach, would be really cool to see. And I just want to see Hutch, get a sack. Why not, right? I just want to see Hutch play to make sure like the rumors are true and he is really up to date. And I think it would give the Lions base. Tell me if I'm wrong, guys, but would it not make us smile to see Hutch, make going for some snaps, see that he's still good, he's still himself? That to me would be honestly the best part of that game, and winning, of course. And finally, I want to see what our rookie receivers are made of after St. Brown, Williams. Maybe Tim Patrick. He might play a little longer, but Williams and St. Brown, after they get some reps, go out for a couple drives. I want to see what these new guys, I want to see what Dominic Levette's all about. Tesla, we've talked about the hype around him and his ability to catch these balls under pressure, his size, his speed. I want to see what he's made of in the NFL. I want to see if it carries over. And then Dominic Levette, we haven't talked about him too much on this channel yet, but he's one of those shifty guys, and I want to see what he can do. You never know. Some of these later draft picks can honestly end up becoming huge players and huge stars on your team. I mean, look at Amon-Ra St. Brown, right? That's like the classic story of guys picked before him, and then he ended up coming out and being one of the stars in the league right now. I'm excited to see what's going to happen in this game. I know it doesn't necessarily mean a whole lot, but it's football in July, guys. What else could you ask for right now, football fans, right? I'm excited. Hopefully we win. Chargers are a great team. I'm excited to see what they do. I got some guys from the Chargers in my fantasy teams, so it's going to be cool to see both sides and where players are standing right now, and then we'll see that improvement later down the line for the regular season. All right, with that being said, let's move to our third topic of the day. We're going to recap and do some predictions for Penei Sewell. So last season, he ranked number 2 out of tackles. He's 6'5", 335 pounds, and 24 years old rolling into this season. He's got a bigger workload now that Ragnow, one of those big leaders, is gone. We've continually talked about Ragnow. And the veteran center was really the glue that kept that O-line together. He was the vet. He knew the game to a T. He was just a star player. And now that he's gone, there's going to be a bigger load for players like Taylor Decker and Sewell. They're expected to be much bigger leaders on and off the field for their teammates. And I think since Sewell's ceiling is much higher than anyone else on that line right now, he's going to be someone that other players look to in close games and tough scenarios, especially because we've seen what he can do and how explosive of a player he really is. He's going to definitely be a guy guys are looking forward to watching and making sure that he's keeping up that leader mentality. And he does. We see him in those like preseason or pregame speeches, stuff like that. He gets the fellas fired up. That's what I love about him. Despite how great he is still like he's not one of those quiet guys. He gets the fellas fired up. He's an infectious energy kind of guy, and he makes everyone around him feel that same kind of energy. So I'm expecting a bigger workload from him, but it's not to say that he can't do it. His overall grade right now is 87.5. He's fourth. Pass block rating is 74.1, which, could be better, obviously. But then look at his run blocking grade. It's second overall at a 90.5. He played 1,144 offensive snaps. He only had 6 penalties, but he did allow 1 sack last year. Well, I mean, just 1 sack, right? It's not good, but it's not terrible by any stretch. It's going to happen once in a while. The big thing with him is his run blocking, obviously, and his ability to just basically pick a dude up and move him out of the way, do it to multiple players at once. His vision is really great. And for a guy his size, we said, 335? He's fast. He gets downfield with his runners really quick, and that's what makes him so dangerous with a guy like Jahmyr Gibbs, who has got that explosive speed. All Sewell needs to do is move 1 or 2 guys, and then Jahmyr Gibbs can do the rest. David Montgomery, he can just get right behind Sewell, and Sewell can just move a dude. Montgomery will just sit right behind him, and then Montgomery can obviously take on those 1v1s or just truck a dude and get him out of the way like we saw against the Seahawks. So Penei Sewell is no pushover, and I'm very excited he is on this team, and he is continuing to be a Lion. Looking to get him more help next season, however. We're talking about some of these depth pieces on the line, how guys are getting older. Taylor Decker is obviously going to be one of those older guys, and depth is something I'm worrying about with this O-line. We've always been very proud of how good our O-line has been in the last 3 or 4 years, but you got to not just go, okay, well, these guys will be fine and they're going to be all right. Someone gets hurt. We saw some injuries last year with this O-line. If things fall apart, Jared Goff is not the most mobile quarterback. So we need a strong O-line for our pocket passer. A couple players to look at are coming up in the draft next season. And there's obviously some guys we can get in free agency, but there's no one that stands out particularly for me right now. I think someone that we should look at for the next draft to make sure we have those players to, help Taylor Decker. Taylor Decker's getting older. Someone like Francis Maui Goa. That guy is a dog. Francis Mauigoa plays for the University of Miami Hurricanes. He is going to be a junior this upcoming season, and he has just shown excellence at the tackle position. He's a key member of the offensive line that helped pave the way for a #1 offense last season. In both games, in yards per game, he was insane. Helped the offensive line spot Joe Moore Award honor roll at midseason, honoring nation's top performing units. He started in all 13 games at right tackle, earning All ACC second team recognition as one of the conference top linemen. Helped lead offense to a 529-yard output in season opening win at Florida on August 31st of last season. And he's an animal. This guy's awesome. He's a dominant player. He was a true freshman in 2023, earning All ACC honorable mention. He just plays a key role, and he's American Samoa, right? So who else do we know is an American Samoa, an absolute dog in the tackle position? There's a trend here. He's 6'6". He's a dog. I keep saying that, but he really is, and I think it's definitely something we should look to possibly grab, because once that one tackle position goes, all a team's going to do is not attack Penei Sewell. I mean, why would you, right? If you got someone weaker on the other side, throw your better guy on that side. So we got to definitely look to get someone like him. I think right now this is who we should set our sights on. He seems to fit the mold of the team, the Lions grit kind of thing we talk about a lot here. And I think he could absolutely just be a great piece to add on to an already great O-line to make sure we have a future as well. So with that being said, he doesn't really allow sacks at all, and he could be maybe that helpful pass protector to Penei Sewell's run game, right? I think that's someone definitely to look forward to. Let me know what you guys think, and if there's anyone you think would be better fit to play on the Lions. Moving on to our fourth and final topic. Just really quickly, I know he didn't retire a Lion, but Dominic Suh retires at 38 years old. He was a former NFL defensive tackle. After a 13-season career, he made the announcement on social media Saturday, July 12th, coinciding with a 1-year anniversary of his father's death. Suh, who played for the Lions, the Dolphins, the Rams, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the Eagles. Just care about the Lions here. Cited his father's advice to let football go as a key reason for the decision. And Dominic Suh was taken second overall in 2010 by us and played for us through the 2010 season all the way to 2014. During that time, he accumulated 36 sacks, 130 tackles for loss, and 391 total tackles. He was also a 5-time Pro Bowler and a 3-time first-team All-Pro during his NFL career. Attempted to kick an extra point with us against the Jets. He missed, but just to say, he's a force of nature and he's an athlete. If you got your defensive tackle kicking extra points, that dude's an athlete. I was definitely younger when he played, but he is cemented as one of those dogs that was drafted by the Lions, played for the Lions. And he's also known for, telling Tom Brady, "I'm not your friend," in the middle of a game, because Brady was trying to laugh with him, butter him up a little bit, and he was not having it. He was a scary defensive tackle who meant a lot to the Detroit Lions during a time where there wasn't a whole lot to be excited about besides a few wild card playoff losses from here or there. So definitely an explosive player, definitely will be missed in the league. And I know Lions fans are even giving a little bit of a golf clap to him, saying, "Hey, thank you for your time here. Thank you for your dominance in the NFL, and have a great retirement, sir." So with that being said, thank you so much for watching. We are out of time today. If you made it to this part of the video, tell me what your favorite memory of Ndamukong Suh was, and if whether or not, he should have gotten a second chance to kick that field goal. I don't think he should have, but I think it was pretty cool. He did anyways. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. We're almost to 200 subscribers. I can't believe the kind of support you guys have shown. It's been absolutely fantastic. Makes me really excited to come talk about the Lions, even though I already love talking about the Lions. You guys definitely make it worthwhile. I'll see you guys in the next video, and you have a great rest of your days.